guys, Mandy from Tidy Sticky Mama, and we're back with week 7 in the 8-week KonMari tidying challenge. Congrats on finishing tidying. Now, all of your joy-sparking things need joy-sparking homes. I know we've been sort of putting things away as we go, but in the book, remember that Marie says storage is temporary until we finish tidying. And that's because until now, there hasn't been any way to really tell what sort of space you will end up with available to put your things in. Now you have space in places you didn't before, and you know exactly what it is you have that you need to store away. Plus you have a better idea of how to sort things into categories, and that's a much better way to store things overall. And the first day this week we are making a plan, designating a home for each and every item. Homeless items are unhappy items, so be sure that each one is accounted for. It's okay to make adjustments and change your mind as you go. You've got space in places you didn't before, so there are storage options available now that may not have ever occurred to you before. Keep categories together and use drawer dividers or bins to section off areas that need a little extra help. Deep drawers are a place where you might need some extra help in making the best use of the space, and on day 44, we're tackling just that. Marie makes an exception to her no stacking rule here. If you've got things KonMari folded and there's vertical space left in the drawer, you can put more clothes into boxes and then rest those boxes on top of the folded layer on the bottom. This works out because the boxes make it easy to access the things on the bottom without having to rummage through a pile or get a bunch of stuff kind of squished and forgotten. This is particularly great if you have a large collection of fairly uniform items like t-shirts, or for keeping clothes that you wear almost exclusively together, stored together, like camis and sweaters or work uniforms, that sort of thing. It's also great for storing off-season clothes with your current season clothing, but out of the way, because you can just keep the off-season on that bottom layer of the drawer. If you have deep drawers in your kitchen or elsewhere not for clothing, experiment with what you can store vertically in those. Day 45, we find another exception to Marie's general storing advice: books. With books, she breaks from her standing order of keeping a category all together in one place and suggests instead storing them where they tend to be used. So cookbooks where you do your meal planning or cooking, coffee table books in the living room, your novels by your favorite reading spot, whatever makes the most sense for your books and your space. I feel so much better about my book caches scattered around the house now because they are where they make sense for them to be. The next day we handle clipped recipes, which seems like a pretty insignificant and random category to go after, but okay. For physical copies, find or make yourself a recipe box to keep them in. I have a cute little strawberry one that my grandma got me the first Christmas I was married, and I love it. It's never once matched my kitchen or like anything in it, but it's just so cute and I adore it. If you're more of a digital recipes person, take the time to hop on Pinterest and make use of the subboards or extra categories wherever you store your digital recipes so that it streamlines your process for finding exactly the recipe that you're looking for when you're looking for it. Bonus points if you digitize your physical copies and get rid of that paper entirely. But for me, the cards that have the handwriting of my family and friends on it are their own special treasures, so I'll be keeping mine. We are cooking again on day 47 and making what I like to call a scrounge meal. You're using up the bits and pieces left in your kitchen, things that are about to expire or otherwise go bad, and seeing what you can make out of them for a meal. I'm taking it a bit further and doing a whole pantry clear with my meal planning this week and trying to use as much as I can out of things I already have on hand and just fill in a few missing ingredients here and there because my pantry really needs it. But you can expand this beyond the kitchen. While you are looking through your belongings, check for boxes and containers that you can use while storing things away. This is especially great if you have a container of some sort that you kept just because you love it, but you have a little guilt because it seemingly has no purpose. Well, now is the time to give it a purpose. Days 48 and 49 are all about maximizing the odd spaces in your home, walls, and small storage spaces. Hanging organizers can be a great tool but they're not everybody's jam, and frankly, not usually very attractive. So I recommend them for practical spaces like garages and playrooms and the backs of closet doors rather than hanging out in the middle of the living room. But if you have one that you really like to look at, have at it. Put it somewhere you can enjoy it. If you're more of a shelves person, there's like a million options out there. Some of them available at a very nice budget point on Amazon and even at Target, places where they are readily accessible. I'm a big IKEA fan personally. Small spaces can be tricky to utilize effectively. Trust me, I know. I live in about 1,000 square feet with 4 other people. And I've seen bigger kitchens than mine on tiny house hunters. So, yeah. This is one of those places that thinking outside the box goes a long way. Hop on Pinterest and search small storage solutions to find some inspiration, or poke around on YouTube. 2 of my favorite channels for creative organizing solutions are Clutterbug and Do It on a Dime. I'll throw links to those channels down in the description if you want to check them out yourself. At any point, if you're stuck on where to put something, ask your house. Might seem silly, but this far into KonMari, it shouldn't be a surprise. Plus, anything that gets you that spark of inspiration works. When it comes to drawers in shared spaces, be sure that something belongs in every drawer. It's okay and expected to have empty space generally, but an empty drawer only invites chaos. Trust me. By the end of this week, your home should be looking very close to your vision. And by next week, we'll have the final touches in. Isn't this exciting? Let me know in the comments down below how it's going for you. And be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay with me on this challenge. We only have 1 week to go and I am so excited. We're almost done and this has been so good. I hope it's been as good for you as it has been for me. Bye guys. See you next time. It's the end of our tidying festival, guys. Woohoo! I don't even know.